Hey everyone, today I want to take a minute to talk about my favorite QuantVue strategy, which is Qsumo. I'll show you how to set it up, I'll tell you why it's my favorite, and I'll give you some ideas you can try it for yourself. So this is a brand new chart. It's currently set to the S&P in regular candles, so let's first of all change it to the NQ continuous contract. Then you want to set it to 30 seconds and make sure you're on Renko bars. If you don't know what Renko bars are, do some research, ask ChatGPT, it actually summarizes it very nicely. Renko bars are just a very different way of looking at the market. It works very well for a lot of strategies at QuantVue. So it should say traditional 4. If it doesn't say that, make sure you set that here. It should look something like this. Then let's pull up Qsumo, the beast. It takes a few seconds because it actually is a beast. Now, I won't even pretend to understand what Qsumo does or how it does it, but from my understanding, it is one of the most, if not the most complex algorithm strategy that QuantVue currently offers. Very important to know, Qsumo isn't always in strategy. That's opposed to, let's say, a scalping strategy where you wait for a good entry, you get in, you scalp your 20, 30 points, whatever you're going for, you get out and hopefully profitable, and that's your trade. Qsumo is always in, meaning it's always in the market. What does that look like? Let's go back to when it started today. There we go. So we start at 9:35, which is when I like to start. It's also the default setting. Qsumo, okay, looks like we're going long. Goes long with 4 contracts. I'll get to that number in a second. We go up here. Cool. Oh, we're turning around. Okay. We're now selling 8 contracts because we're closing the 4 we have here, plus we're selling another 4, meaning at this stage here, we're in with 4 contracts again, short this time. Here, oh, looks like we might be turning around, but not sure, so we'll take a partial profit, taking 2 off the table, leaving us with 2. Here, yep, we are turning around, so buying 6. The 2 remaining ones from this one and 4 new ones, because that's our number we go in. And so on and so forth. That's how Qsumo works, and it's always in the market. And that also makes it my favorite, apart from the fact that it's really, really accurate depending on how you set it up, and just blows my mind with the kind of stuff it does, like long anti-drift, take profit. I don't even know what that means, but hey, it means I make more money, so that's good. So Qsumo is always in. In my mind, that makes a lot of sense because you basically win by attrition. You go long, you wait for a great long, you go short, wait for a great short. You might get chopped out. We see some stuff here. That's not great. Qsumo would not. Well, almost nothing will do great here. But eventually, we'll get a big move. And guess what? We were short. And here, eventually, we get a big move up. And guess what? Right now, we're long. So in the long run, it will work out. Does for me. Okay, let's look at the settings. I actually do not change a lot in Qsumo because, frankly, I don't understand most of it. So in properties, I leave this as is. Very important, do not go with 1 contract. Qsumo wants to scale in and out of trades as it sees fit, and it knows a lot more than I do, so I'll trust it on that one. You need at least 4 contracts. Do not change it to 1 or 2 or 3, leave it at 4. I run it on MNQ, don't run it on 4 minis. Use micros. I run it on 4 MNQ and it works fine. That's the default setting. Inputs. Okay, the classic one, time frames. Do you want to close at the end? This is the default setting. I'll talk about time in a minute, some things I've been testing. I don't use this one. Here, very, very important. For back testing, for checking out stuff, look at what it looks like. That's great. Don't need to check that. But once you want to go live, you want to check this. Then click OK, and then set your alert. You need to do that. It will not work properly otherwise. Qsumo Min is like a slightly modified, less powerful version, which I don't use. I'm not going to talk about that. Coloring, don't need it, don't care about it, leave it as is. Now here are some interesting things. Again, these are default settings. I usually don't change any of these. I don't like early reversals. It makes it too aggressive for my taste. I don't like low volatility trading because I don't want to trade when there's low volatility. So often when there's low volatility, Qsumo will shut itself off unless you have this enabled. I leave it off. The one I sometimes play around with is ads. So if we add this, if we check this, let's go back and see what it does. Where's a good example? Here. at the very beginning. So ads allows it, if it thinks, hey, this is a good trend, I'll go all in on it. So we opened with 4, and then it saw, ooh, trend direction confirmed, Qsumo long ad. Boom, it adds more contract. That's what this does. It makes it more aggressive, makes it more profitable if it's right, but it also makes it lose more if it's choppy and it thinks it's adding, but it's not doing anything good. It mostly works. I found ads to be very powerful, so we added long here, we added short here. That's great. So these are the settings I use. That's all I change. I don't touch anything else. I don't use the built-in profits limits here. I use them on the account because on a 30-second Renko, I found these to be somewhat inaccurate sometimes. This you should know how to do by now. This is your prop trader user ID and your spam key. So if you use the ATS, which is the fastest version to execute trades, which I highly recommend for Qsumo, just input these things here and then use the message strategy order alert message in the alert box. But there's lots of separate videos on that, so I won't go into that. Now, I've got another one here, which is the same chart, but a 2-box size. And if we pull up Qsumo here, again, not changing any of these settings, leaving the time as is, 4 contracts, same thing. I'm not enabling ads either here. We see that, ooh, this is actually quite interesting. So let's see what it did today. It's looking pretty good. It got in here with 4 long as well. It took a partial profit, then it realized, oh, I'm gonna go short. Here, whoop, we better take 2 off the table, but stay in, boom. Gotta go long, and then reverse. So that would have been a loss here. Would have lost something here, short partial profit. Same here. When it starts chopping around, it's just very hard for Qsumo, but we'll eventually have big moves. We got short here, rode all the way down here, got short here, rode down here. Then we got long in here, rode all the way up here, and so on and so forth. So if we put these side by side, you'll see that the traditional 2 is a bit whippier, I want to call it, because the box only needs 2 points to form. You'll see more back and forth. It'll be quicker to respond to a change, but it'll also get whipped around a lot more when it's trending sideways, when it's choppy markets. So what did I mean with try some stuff out? As you can see, if you're a QuantVue member, you'll have access to this Google sheet where a bunch of us just note a bunch of forward testing we're doing. So you see a bunch of users here, what they're doing. Goes back probably to June or something, and I've been testing Qsumo for a while. See, Qsumo, that's me. I've been testing this. So I've run it for just indiscriminately from 0935 to 1600 for a while, and overall it is profitable, but it's got red weeks. It does have red weeks. So lately I've been trying out 2 different things. The first one is I've been trying to run it only till noon because it thrives off big moves, and we have a tendency, as you probably know, big moves tend to happen before noon and then maybe during power hour. It's not every day, but it is more often than it's not. So I've changed it to that. At the same time, I have set a daily profit limit of $800. So the combination of that allows me to stop at noon or when the profit limit is hit. Let's see how that did this week. Both hit the profit limit on Monday. That's my 2-box and my 4-box. And then today was interesting. So today at noon, the 2-box was at minus 500, but it stopped. And who knows, maybe it would have gone green after, but I'm not taking that risk. The 4-box actually stopped less than an hour into market opening at the profit limit of 800. So I see a lot of potential in running this with a profit limit. I don't use a loss limit right now because I've never seen it below, what was it, 1400 or something on 4MNQ. So this is my best bet right now until noon, and we'll see where that goes. Try it out for yourself. Qsumo is super powerful and it will blow your mind. It certainly blows mine all the time.